nation branding. We saw the video of Wally Orleans. We actually, how do we get to this topic was rather long discussion, a long tomawari. Anyway, we went from populism to the diminishing middle class, to the reasons why the middle class was disappearing, to immigration, to actually the real reason because of the diminishing middle class, which is technology. And then we looked at the impact of technology on jobs, which jobs would disappear, and then we concluded that there are a number of jobs that are very much at risk, where the people who doing these jobs are very much at risk because they are already living on the edge of the financial means, like taxi drivers, etc. So what are we going to do? That was the question. So what are we going to do?
Yeah, just last week discussed branding. This debate was much more focused on it takes years
to build a brand.
1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. So what we should do that to get brand.
Right.
So no way to wait 5 years, 10 years. This is our discussion ended last week.
Yeah. So basically, if your country has a brand, that will help you to sell your products overseas. One way that we could do is build up a nation brand, and that could help your industry. How does it help your industry? For example, if you would compare the prices, like we saw in the video last time, Mr. Orleans was comparing the prices of beauty products in France versus Poland. The products in France were sold at 5 times the price of the products in Poland. Why? Because people feel more inclined towards buying from France because they have the reputation, they have the brand value. France has the brand value. So that really helps, and there are a number of other examples. Now, not in this video, but I looked this up. Japan actually has very high brand value. Products from Japan are being trusted. Services from Japan are being trusted.
Product brand, you mean?
Not a
Country
maker's brand, a country brand.
Okay, country brand.
So the country brand of Japan is pretty good. It's pretty high.
Why?
But how are we going to leverage it?
Why?
I think that's the result of years and years of producing reliable products, providing reliable services, providing people with a first-class experience when they visit this country, has built up the brand of a country that makes good products at a reasonable price, and where you can really trust the people. So this has actually created a wonderful reputation for Japan. Now, how are we going to leverage this? How are we going to build on this to actually help our industry grow and supply more products outside of Japan? I mean, it could help Japanese parts makers, but only to a limited extent. Parts makers, they maybe the final assemblers could be inclined to do business with Japanese because it's expected to be smooth, because the quality is expected to be good. But actually, the brand of Japan could contribute Japanese companies to become to build their own products again, because it's not only the assemblers, but it's also the final consumers who are aware of this brand, who are willing to pay more for Japanese products than they would for example, Korean products.
This is our concerns, how we're going to develop Japanese product instead of in the past decades we could solve component product.
Yes.
Because of Japan brand, but I'm more interested in current Japanese skills, know-how, how to export those skills and know-how
Right.
to overseas.
But you build up a brand. So we have been talking about nation branding, and so you need to separate between nation branding and consumer branding. And I have 2 videos from nation branding and 1 from consumer branding. And maybe we can start with consumer branding. I think we may have seen this video before. It's only 5 minutes, but it's a good refresher.
Okay.
And it talks about branding from a consumer perspective. It's a video from Steve Jobs, and the quality of the sound is not super, but the quality of the content is super.
A similar message Confucius said is you should change the world, but you should not change tradition. He said core value, right?
I don't think he means you should not change tradition. Actually, you should disrespect tradition, challenge the status quo, be prepared to think different and believe in what you believe in, and go your way. Do not stick with convention.
Core value.
No, okay. So core value is what Apple believes in. So why did Apple come into existence? Who is Apple? Their core values are think different. Their core value is actually whatever they do, they might change their product line, they might change their distribution, they might change their customer service, they might change all these things. But at the heart of the company, what drives Apple to be Apple is to think different, to actually challenge the status quo, to think not why, but why not? Why can't we do this? Because everybody says so. If they believe in it, they should challenge the status quo. That is what the company is. That's why they can bring things further. Because if they would basically believe in the status quo, what they would do is just focus on creating a better computer at the same price, for example. That's not what they are about. They are about creating something completely new, something that the world hasn't seen before, and they believe they can do it, and they're crazy enough that they can do it, and that's why they are succeeding in doing it. So this is a company that continuously tries to redefine the world, not accept it as face value, but redefine the world. That's what Apple is about. That's what they want to sell as their core identity. Now, I'm going to ask you the same question. Which company in Japan has a core value that is so obvious that you could basically refer to and say, okay, well, this company has a very good branding strategy? Other examples in Japan, Japanese companies that have that we know who is this company. Maybe the closest we can get is Uniqlo. Although, how would we define Uniqlo? Who is Uniqlo?
You mean you're talking about your identity?
Yes. Not what does Uniqlo make, but who is Uniqlo? If we had to describe Uniqlo, how clear are they in what they make and what they stand for? Who is Toyota?
Uniqlo is, I think he does not listen to customers' opinion.
Really? Okay.
They think why their product is selling so much. Because they're chasing for the comfortable life for the people. better than now instead of customers' requirement. If they're going to listen to customers' opinion, their product will not like that. They chasing for the more comfortable life better than now.